The Nintendo Switch 2 is finally here, and so is Mario Kart World. And man, there's a lot to talk about with this game. It's been surrounded by controversy, not because it's a bad game, but because of its price point. Nintendo slapped an $80 price tag on it, and for a lot of people, that became the focal point more than the game itself. Was it justified? Was it a cash grab? Or did Nintendo actually deliver something worthy of that premium price? But let's set the whole price issue aside for a minute and talk about the game itself, because whether you're furious about the price or not, Mario Kart World actually has a lot going on under the hood. Pun intended. Now, I'm not some Mario Kart fanatic who plays every day, but I've definitely sunk time into the games. And like many of you, I hit a point where I wondered, what else could they possibly do with this series? After Mario Kart 8 and Mario Kart 8 Deluxe, it felt like we hit a ceiling. They were both great games, but that formula was just getting stale. That's why I came into Mario Kart World both excited and skeptical. Were we getting more of the same with fancier graphics, or something that genuinely felt like a leap forward? Turns out it was a bit of both, but in the best way possible. It starts out familiar. You pick a circuit, you load into a race, and you hit the track. The first course at each circuit follows the traditional 3-lap structure. That's your anchor, but then everything changes. The rest of the races in each circuit shift into this semi-open-ended format. Instead of going around the same loop 3 times, you're racing from point A to point B with checkpoint-style segments acting as laps. And that small change makes a huge difference. Suddenly the level design opens up. You're not memorizing 3 turns and hitting them perfectly each time. You're adapting, you're exploring, and reacting in real time. There's a sense of unpredictability and freedom that wasn't in previous Mario Kart games. And it gets even better when you realize the game actively encourages creativity. You're able to grind rails, you're able to wall ride, and these aren't just flashy gimmicks. They're built into the level design. You begin to approach the game less like a kart racer and more like a hybrid platformer with wheels. Don't even get me started on the chaos. There are 24 racers per race now. That's right, 24. So if you're in the middle of the pack, buckle up, Buttercup. You're going to get hit. A lot. You'll be in 5th place 1 second and 14th the next. And you know what? I kind of like it. It brings a level of madness and intensity that makes every race feel alive. The hazard variety is insane too. Charging chucks barreling across the track. Hammer bros throwing their hammers every which way. Wild Goombas on the prowl. And animals just roaming around. It's not just racing, it's survival. Visually, the game looks great. Let's be honest here, though. It's not an earth-shattering jump from Mario Kart 8 Deluxe, but everything feels sharper, more animated, more alive. The weather effects, the day and night cycles, and dynamic obstacles give each race more personality. There's more motion and activity on screen, and yet the performance stays smooth, both docked and handheld. Now let's talk about some of the gameplay additions. The power-ups are fun and shake things up in a good way. The Hammer Bros item is a blast, literally. There's also an ice ball that freezes enemies. It's little changes like these that add just enough spice without disrupting the core mechanics we all love. You'll unlock more characters, alternate costumes, through the little Yoshi food stands that you find scattered around the courses, and you earn coins to grab new carts and parts. All of it works to keep you chasing new goals. And then there's the knockout mode. This is a brand new addition that's basically a race to survive format. It's one massive continuous track, no intermissions, and every few checkpoints, racers get eliminated. You've got to stay in the top to keep going. It's available in both single player and online multiplayer. It's intense, it's competitive, and it adds a whole new layer of strategy. The battle mode returns too, and thankfully it's not 24-player insanity. It's more contained, but it's still frantic, and just like the classic days, it's one of the most fun ways to play with friends online. Speaking of which, the online has been rock solid. No lag, I've only had 1 drop session, and pretty much everything works pretty decent. Let's dig into the free roam mode, because this was the feature that I was most interested in. It's more like an open playground filled with surprises. It's not just about driving around aimlessly. You've got mini challenges, blue coin hunts, secret paths, little events that pop up here and there. It's not as mission driven or as expansive as something like Forza, but it doesn't have to be, because this isn't a full-on open world game. It's still Mario Kart. The core is still racing. This is just extra. And once you get that mindset, it clicks. This is icing on the cake, a mode that lets you unwind, explore, and have fun between races. It's not replacing the main gameplay loop, it's enhancing it. And this is something that IGN got completely wrong in their review, I feel. There's a huge map, a ton of variety, and a surprising amount of charm packed into it. Do I wish there was boss battles or some kind of narrative style challenge? Sure, but what's here is engaging and more than I expected. You could even free roam with friends, use voice chat, and just mess around. Let's talk about the roster of Mario Kart World. It's absolutely nuts with 60 characters. Yeah, of course you got your usual crew, you got Mario, Luigi, Peach. All the staples are here, but honestly, the real stars of the show are the weirdos. And I mean that in the best way possible. Like, they actually made the cow from Moo Moo Meadows a playable racer. You know, the one that we've been crashing into for decades? Well, they're back, they're mad, and they're behind the wheel now. And there's all sorts of different variations of costumes for each of the characters as well. There's like cute little pro racer Marios. There's even a mariachi version of some of these characters. Literally, it's awesome. There's so much variety here. It's ridiculous and it's perfect. And they even have some of the most obscure enemies as racers this time around. You could be the little crab from the original Mario Brothers arcade game. The gang is all here, guys. Now we just need the Animal Crossing, Splatoon, and Legend of Zelda characters to be back in the game for Mario Kart 8 Deluxe. Now the tracks, this is where Mario Kart World really goes off, guys. These courses are basically love letters to the Mario universe, but with way more ambition than we've seen before. There's one called Boo Cinema, where you literally race into a movie screen and through the scenes of a film. That's the kind of creativity I love to see. And then there's even like giant city tracks packed with different routes, shortcuts. You'll have to adjust your racing on the fly with some of these tracks, which is a cool touch. Reviewers are calling some of these tracks fantastical and varied. And yeah, I think that's accurate. You're constantly shifting between land, sea, and air with your kart transforming mid-race, like sprouting wings or turning into a boat. It's seamless and it just works. And the new Rainbow Road, absolutely gorgeous. It's stunning and it feels like a real finale moment, not just a hard track for the sake of being hard. And we got to talk about the music, because this soundtrack is on another level. People are calling it one of the best Nintendo's put out in years, and I believe it. It's packed with remixes from Mario's 40-year history. Stuff like Jump Up Superstar, Good Egg Galaxy, Tick Tock Clock, and every track hits. It's not just background noise, it's legit part of the experience, and it feels like a greatest hits road trip through Mario history. Overall, Mario Kart World feels like the series finally said, you know what, let's go big. The roster is totally unhinged in the best way possible. And as I mentioned, the tracks are both beautiful and mechanically interesting. Boo Cinema is probably one of my favorites, and there's real variety and creativity in every cup. There are some small bugs in the game, okay? It's not as perfect in Rainbow Sunshine, but there's nothing game-breaking. And again, as I mentioned, the soundtrack is just pure joy. It feels like they actually cared about making it memorable and not just filler. If this is where Mario Kart's heading next, I'm absolutely down for the ride. So yeah, Mario Kart World is good. It's really good. And that's what makes the $80 price tag so frustrating, because if this game had launched at $70, it'd be an instant classic, no questions asked. But that extra $10, it shifted the entire conversation. People started focusing more on whether it was worth the price than whether it was a great game. And honestly, I think it's worth it, at least if you're a Mario Kart or Nintendo fan. There's enough content, enough innovation, and enough polish to justify the cost. But do I wish Nintendo priced it smarter? Of course I do. They didn't need to make this a lightning rod. So here's where I land. If you're planning to get a Switch 2, grab the bundle with Mario Kart. You'll save money, and you'll still get what might be the best Mario Kart experience to date. If you're on the fence and only want the game, I get it. $80 is steep. But you're getting a meaty, content-rich game that's fun, fresh, and chaotic in all the right ways. Anyways, guys, I'm going to leave it right there. Let me know what you think down in the comments below. Did you pick it up? Are you waiting for a price drop? And what do you think of the open world aspect of the new race formats?